soggy peso, and so this is the street, and here's the entrance to the complex. There's a few apartments, and then up those stairs is mine. So you come up, you got a nice patio. Like, it's big, you know? Can't really tell right now, but there's boats out there, so you can see the water. There's another table over here. Nighttime view. And here, it's actually bigger than I thought. It's bigger than what the pictures look like. Living room, little kitchen, dining table, another balcony facing the street, but I'll capture that in the morning, it's just too dark. And then this huge bedroom, huge, big windows. Oh, they shut them. Damn, she shut the windows on me. It's baking in here. That's one thing I have to say. Hi, it's really hot in here. Here I am in Mexico clothes. And nice big bathroom, like huge bathroom. Cute sink. And again, I got the windows open, trying to get some of the heat out of here because it's like 30 degrees. It was 30 degrees today. So, morning view of the kitchen. I'm drying out my book when my water bottle exploded, when the plane landed. And got a 2-burner induction stove. And then there's the patio. Let's go have a look. I'm actually working on this video, and I love that I'm sitting here eating my breakfast that's in the video as I'm working on editing the video. Here's the morning daytime view of the patio. Just wondering from where I might be able to swim. That's all I was just thinking.
Oh no! maybe Solim will let you use this. Okay,
and there's the patio. Oh gosh, that's funny. Starting the day at the Soggy Peso, but they do not have coffee, so I chose not to start with a beer, but I had a soda. And I'm wondering if I can go off the dock here. I probably can. It's just you gotta wade through rather than having to hike all the way to the North Beach or something. I'm back from my big shopping trip down to Chedraui. I had a cold shower and just trying to relax and figure out what my new routine will be. So interestingly, I feel like I've had a big day. It's probably because of the heat and the humidity that I'm not used to. Anyway, all I did was eventually get up. I woke up at 05:30 my time, which would have been 7:30 here. I got out of bed probably 9:30 this time, so 7:30 biological time. And I wandered over to the Soggy Peso. I was hoping they would have a coffee. They do not have coffee. They offered me a beer though, which, not that I'm against it, but I just didn't do. I was like, well, give me a soda, rehydrate. So I had a soda, and it was 40 pesos, but I paid 50. I left a tip, so that works out to about $3.40 Canadian. And from there I walked to the supermarket, Chedraui, which is about just over a kilometer. But by 10:45 in the morning, the sun was starting to blare. And so I thought it might take longer, but I made it. I was pretty hot though. And then on the way back, I had my backpack and 2 bags of little groceries, which came to about $64, say $65 Canadian. I'm going to do a little thing on what things cost here. I was planning to load up on avocados, but they're as expensive as Canada. Hass, Hass, Mexican avocados. They're like 46 pesos, which is like $3-something, dollars, right? Over $3. Almost $4 for a fucking avocado. And you're in Mexico where they're growing it. So something's up with that whole avocado scene. Must be a racket for avocados. In this world, they know people love them and they want you to pay. Because, or I'm like, does shipping it to Canada, does it get subsidized by charging people here the same price? Anyway, I was hoping to load up on avocados. I just couldn't stomach it, so I didn't. But I did get pepitas. I love roasted pumpkin seeds. I got those. And a few other things to try. Anyway, that's all I did. I walked there, just over a kilometer. I walked back. I actually had to stop in the shade for a bit because I was getting overheated. And, that was my big day. In terms of here at the patio, I've seen some really nice looking, I don't know, are they boats? Are they yachities? Are they yachits? But I've seen some fancy boats of about that size. I don't know if you can see it passing by. Oh, there's one over there in between the palm trees. So, but I have been just unselfconsciously alone here on this patio. And that is such a wonderful feeling because, in my real life back in Canada, I'm under a fair bit of scrutiny no matter where I go because of living the RV life. So, this is a real treat. The waterfront here, it's not perfect. I'm sure I can figure out navigating it. I'm probably going to go swimming anyway at some point. But, it's not your ideal beachfront, and hence, the price and the quiet. And it's not overrun with bodies, So it's the trade-off. And I'll take this type of place any day over some packed resort that is just, I think, way overpriced for the experience that you have there. Like, I mean, I went to a resort in Dominican. Like, I'm not a resort person. I've only done it twice. Yeah, it's just, I don't get it. Pay like 4 or 5 times as much. And yeah, not a thing. I am enjoying this very much. I'm finally relaxing. A little bit, you know? Just being out of my routine. The animal part is a bit thrown off. I'm like, oh, what do I do? Arriving last night, I have no food, I have no coffee, I have no beer, I have nothing. But I have 4 tea bags. And, you know, I kind of knew that 4 tea bags might have to sustain me, and it's fine, you know? I got plenty of belly fat to sustain me. I'm not dying. Nobody's gonna be dying. I could probably be down here for a month living on water, and I would not be dying, you know? I've got like 40 or 50 pounds extra. Yep, this is going to change. This is going to change. I'm getting excited about it. So, the book is drying out. About 3 o'clock, so it's super warm out there and the sun is strong, so I'm going to take a little rest. Well, there is a cold front warning. Maybe I should stop that shaking. No one has a seizure. Cold front warning. And I'm out for a morning walk. And it means that putting on long sleeves, and I'm not dying of heat. That's what that means. I don't need long sleeves, but I got a touch of color yesterday. And I just want to be careful that I don't get too burned too early in the trip. Today is Tuesday. And I'm off to do some more adventuring. Last evening. Timed it for sundown-ish so that it wouldn't be quite so hot. I walked to downtown and then to the North Beach. Had a quick swim, saw the lightning. It was dark by the time I was swimming. And from there, walked all the way around the northern tip of the island on the beach, back to like the top end of downtown. And just this marina is really adorable. And when I came here the other night thinking it might be a restaurant or something, there was a group of Canadians. And basically, no, it's like you know, dock here, and they have like a kitchen you can use. So I was essentially, for the second time in a couple of weeks, crashing a private party. This time I didn't know it, but they offered me dinner, and that was really nice. I'm hoping to say goodbye to them because I know they're heading out down to Belize today. Some of them, anyway. If I had my way, all tables would look like this. I love it. I want to do some more tile work. Love it. Oh my God. think that's like a military training exercise going on the airport strip. This is the marina that I used to go to for, once I found it, probably about 3 years, and it's just closed up now. They had a little tiki bar, they had live music, and that's where I met that 80-some-odd-year-old sailor who told me about sailing the seas, and that Isla Mujeres was his favorite spot out of all Caribbean, the whole area. And now it's for sale. Savande. Savande? Vande? Savande. I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of sad to see. It seems like there's not enough year-round business to sustain all of these places that sprung up. When the kids and I first were coming here, there wasn't that many in terms of, like tourism restaurants. And so, I guess they could get through, but now, there was nothing down here in this area. This is the new fancy place. So, if you have too many of these places open up, then how are you going to sustain, many of them side by each like toast when there's not a lot of tourism in the off season? And it's not your typical beachfront resort. So I'm finding a lot of the people I meet down this end, they're the sailors. What is this? What is it? Wow. That's cool. What are they? Well, we had that storm hit last night. I guess I must have slept through it when it finally dumped down on us. Holy moly. And these curbs are usually at least a foot tall, so that gives you an idea of the water. A couple more places to check out. There's no shortage of access to tacos. This is the east side of the island that faces Cancun. And the whole island itself is about 5 miles long. See, I don't even know how long it is in Canadian. 5 miles. It's about half a mile wide. But the airport strip kind of divides it. I don't think Isla is really the destination for your resort type of traveler. They've always had one big hotel, and then the North Beach, another one has, sprung up in the last decade or so. But this island is ideal more for the budget traveler. It does have some character. Welcome to the rest of the world. Free tequila. I like it. And I hope that Isla will not, get I mean, maybe Isla did get the wrong idea. Can it really sustain this amount of development? And the only reason I ask is because of the number of places that were thriving that are just no longer there. And I know that the pandemic measures would have done a ton of damage to places like this. Actual suffering and probably even livelihood insecurity, like food insecurity, to places that depend on tourism. But still, a lot of the pricing of places I used to go is just way out of this world. And I think too many people compare prices locally. But what they don't do is to compare what that amount of money will buy you in the rest of the world. So, like the marina that I was in Canada, for a cabin with running kitchen sink but no bathroom in a parking lot with a touchy, if it's even swimmable, because it's so weedy there, he upped my seasonal rent from like $2,000 to like $5,000. And I was like, well, you know, at that stage I could spend $5,000 and almost have a little cabin on my property, so that's what I did. Not atypical. I have never been down here. I might try it at some point on another adventure morning. Cold coconut. Cute. Ooh. They have coffee here. And breakfast. Is this what it's called? The green verde? Nice. Well, my daughter, she wanted to know whether or not it was worth coming back here. So I'm doing a little recon. And I think I will let her decide for herself. It is different. Man, though, I am really enjoying this severe weather. Canadian. It means, because I'm Canadian, I have the weakness, you know, of not having adapted to the heat. So, this is actually fucking awesome. Just passing a little mini hospital here. Wes, I record this for you. Just wanted to capture those dwellings. I think I've looked at them before. That supermarket, it had good price on eggs. Looked like 18 eggs for like 56 pesos. So pretty cheap. But the price of beer was higher, even for the local cheap beer. They wanted 76 pesos for a 6-pack, whereas at Chedraui it's 61, and ever so slightly below that, I think, if you buy it at the market that's downtown. I believe I'm in the neighborhood. Well, actually, when I first started coming here, I believe it was referred to as the neighborhood, but I've seen it on the map called La Gloria, and I just saw a dog roaming free. Where is he? Where's the pooch? Oh, there's his butt. Hey, Pooch Bud. Hello, Poochie. Anyway, I love it. Like, don't they sort of learn better how to behave if they're just having to, you know, face natural consequences? And I suppose the smart ones survive, don't they? Oh, hello. It's pretty. I love all the colors. So there's where I turned off the main street Medina and came down this side street because I'm wanting to go check out the Isla Brewery. It sounds like it could be delicious. One of my favorite sounds is a rooster, and I just heard one. Just taking shelter so I can video something, and I found another set of apartments. I'll have to look these up. But across the street, I wanted to capture, this is the White House, 3rd and 4th floor penthouse. From what I recall, it was pretty darn expensive. And again, right, like, so if you're gonna pay pretty darn expensive, do you wanna be in, you know, like a village setting? Or do you want to be on the beach? Because you can be on the beach. Maybe not with 3 bedrooms, but anyway, just saying. There are some houses right on the water that I think would be a similar price range, but we'll see. 3 little birds just by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true, singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Here is a cute bar with swings. Hello, peace. And then some random coconuts holding a tarp down. La patrona. La patrona, the boss lady. All right. I made it, but it ain't open yet. The Rowie is leaking. This is the big grocery Walmart-y type store. Sardines. Looks like tuna. I'm wondering what that is. Ooh, $5.33. Oh, I wonder. Oh, it's pate. Canard duck. Well, the brewery was closed, so I'm gonna head home and make some breakfast. But I just cut back across to Medina, to Main Street Medina. There's a puppy, and this seems to be some kind of a, well, I've used it as a landmark where basically the baseball diamond, baseball field, there's these, you know, lagoons and squares that, I don't know, it's something in my mind. I try to separate the areas so that I can not get too lost. That, I would say, is a change. I never saw like armed militia around in the first years of coming here, and now there was armed military, bulletproof vests, scary looking guns at the ferry on both sides, and I saw even 3 militia touring downtown last night. with their big guns out. So that's a change. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it is a change. There is no shortage of pharmacies. I remember it used to be hard to find one. Now we pretty much stumble over them. Not meaning that they're everywhere, just meaning that you don't have to look very hard. You'll just be walking around and you'll pass a couple of pharmacies if you're out and about. So this is the corner where I turned off of Medina. I was heading south and I did a left and I walked down this street here to get across to the other side. That's the corner right there, a little place called Cash. And there's a pharmacy. And there's the hospital where I took some shelter earlier. And I wonder, what happened to that place, because it looks like quite a nice place. You see the concrete up there is fallen away. And, what happens that these places go into disrepair? What was the story? I think I'm going to vow to try this place for breakfast since it's so close to where I'm staying. Yep. And maybe this little, close in the neighborhood place. I love that. Doggy footprints. I miss the days when you could, go and walk on the fresh sidewalk. Bring back the 70s again. There was so much. Like, look at that, to see? There's footprints. Well, there's shoe prints, really. But, that was fun. And it certainly gave some character. And there's painted coconuts. I can capture some stuff a little better now because I am not being totally rainbow. Sorry, where am I again? Drawn to just walk down and check out this little neighborhood, and I could really enjoy staying here because it's just steps off the main road, and it's already so much more quiet and lots of birdie sounds. I'm at the corner of Cinco de Mayo, Cal de Cinco de Mayo, and Cal 2 de Abril. I'm at the corner of April and May. April 2nd and May 5th. I am much more relaxed today. I'm much more relaxed today. I've had so many terrifying experiences in Mexico that there's a bit of a program in a fight or flight program in my brain. So in addition to being the fish out of water and out of my normal routine, there was that, I could feel the animal. I'm getting into the dispensa stuff. I could feel the animal in me, going on guard and trying to prepare for, bracing for impact, and so I could totally feel that. I like these plant pots. But today, I've noticed those moments are much less. Probably because I'm not overheated. I mean, I still have these disaster scenarios of I fall and crack my head or break my arm, or just because I've had injuries down here and the kids have been sick, ill, so sick. I mean, Layla had to go for emergency surgery one time, something completely unrelated to being here. And of course, they were traumatic experiences. So there's part of me that there's obviously some sort of subconscious association with emergencies So every so often I notice my mind slip into that space. But I think Dispenza, he talked about what is the refractory period. It's like how long are you staying there before you catch yourself, right? And I'd say I'm catching myself like almost immediately. That's an interesting thing. I put nails on boards. I guess it means don't walk up there. There's the Reef Dive Resort. Maybe I should check that out as well. So darling, it seems like this part of town is more for the boat people. You know, people staying at marinas on their boat, the sailors. And I think there's still a haven for the budget traveler. Because that's me. And I'm surviving. And I got a really swanky apartment for like 500 Canadian for the week. Which is way more swanky than what I need. Except the kitchen tap doesn't really run much water. That's full blast. But what can you do? I'm used to living with no running water, so to me, even the not so swanky is, but the place is big, it's beautiful. I guess the thing is, the comfort traveler, I want my pool, my swim up bar, I want my air conditioning, it has air conditioning, I even have air conditioning. I just can't see this really being, there's a lot of places that would not suit that kind of traveler, so I think there's still a place for the common backpacking mindset type here on Isla. And this I wanted to get because I love the sidewalk. Look at all the footprints. It's almost as if let's lay the concrete and then sort of like stamp it down, you know? I love the paint spilling. In a pretty good mood today, you know, just try and keep an eye on the pavement so that I don't end up breaking some goddamn bones or something, you know. I would love to overwrite that program and have so many more experiences that aren't stressful while I'm here, you know, but with the kids. Ooh, there's more poo. There's a lot of dog poo on the street. Well, I was completely soggy, so I stopped into the Peso. Check out this. Touch it there. Yeah, here I am, soggy Peso. Tuesday's special, sizzling fajitas, beef, chicken, or mixed. $2.69 pesos. And I'm trying a new beer, Bohemia. Working on some breakfast, but so far, with this induction cooktop, this is the only pot that I can get for it to stay on, otherwise it goes. So I had 2 chickens in that pot, and it just kept doing error and then shutting off. So I'm not sure what that's about yet. So I had a beer for breakfast, a Bohemia, and I had another one for dessert, and now I'm gonna have some proper breakfast. Still don't know how this works. I'm having to do everything one at a time in this one pot. Okay, so this pot, this induction stove likes this pot. It starts to beep, E1. I put it back, it stops. Doesn't like this frying pan. I put this little pot back on. So basically, I think if your pot is not totally level, this thing won't cook. Which I'm going to consider a design flaw. So in my mind, don't buy this induction cooktop. It's no good. I can't cook. I'm having to cook everything in this one little pot. This is not pleasant. So either I have to try and go and buy a frying pan that's maybe it's gonna like. This is very temperamental. I don't like it. Please, simple plug-in little coil thing, one burner, I'd be happy. Or how about gas? How about the gas stoves? The gas stoves across the island and the places I used to stay. This is not so much fun, honestly. This is my first home-cooked breakfast. I had hoped the eggs might look like eggs, but since I was only using the one pan, they got stuck. And here's my on-sale avocados that were already cut in half, which have turned a little more brown even in the walk home. And the cheap cerveza, superior. And it is in fact superior to the other, light tasting yellow beers here that are more money. This one is most palatable, honestly. I'm normally a dark beer human, but Bohemia was quite good. Modelo Negra, love that one too. But here we are. A little breakfast after the long walk. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm mostly dry now, and I've had my breakfast. I'm gonna head out and try and walk back to that brewery now. I've already got over 5 kilometers in my flip-flops, so we'll see how that goes and how blistered my feet are at the end of the day. I'm kind of hoping that positive thinking will keep me from getting too blistered. Take care. See you soon.